Alrighty, guys, welcome back. It's your boy EQ, and up next we have Ebro speaking on GNX not being able to be called a classic yet. And Ebro, it's been well over a year now at this point. We recently eclipsed the 1 year anniversary of the project, and I don't think that it's crazy that people are calling it a classic at this point. Art is subjective, but you can't deny the quality of the music, the impact it's had, and the fact that it's still the most dominant hip-hop album of this year. I've seen so many people post that it's not as good as Damn or To Pimp a Butterfly, but guys, that's not the question at all. The real question is GNX a classic? One shouldn't be penalized for having a plethora of other classics, which seems to be the case here. One look at some GNX tour clips and it's obvious to see how much the people are feeling this project and still are. People comparing these projects are comparing apples and oranges, guys. 3 completely different albums with 3 totally different approaches. Whether it's TV Off, Luther, or the rest of the other amazing songs on this GNX project, these records will definitely continue to be fan favorites for a long time. But OVHoites aren't the brightest in the bunch. I mean, we all know that already. I mean, these are the same people claiming that every Kendrick Lamar show was a fail and that the venues were empty. But you can't break the all-time record with empty stadiums. It just doesn't work that way. So enough dilly-dallying. Let's jump right into this video where we have Ebro speaking on GNX not being able to be called a classic album yet. So definitely let me know in the comments whether you guys would consider this album a classic.
Now, here's the question for the panel.
Okay.
Is GNX a hip-hop classic? We'll start with you.
And again, I don't mind that people are having a discussion, but to say that you can't consider it a classic because it's only been a year, it's crazy. Because if I remember correctly, and I was there, guys, Get Rich or Die Trying was definitely considered a classic a year in.
Is it a hip-hop classic? I don't think it's a hip-hop classic yet. I do think it has the ingredients to be that, but it's too soon for me. I can't call something a classic after a year. That's just not. I can't.
Those are his
really
metrics.
All right. Eddie?
Yes.
That was quick.
Yes. I mean, it's the bookend of one of the most triumphant moments in hip-hop history. Yeah, like the biggest beef.
Absolutely.
And we didn't know it was coming
A generational run was just still going.
out. The album drops in November. We thought that was it. Like, Kendrick won, Not Like Us, all these other songs,
Right.
boom, we're doing the thing, whatever. Then all of a sudden we get this album, and I remember us being in the group text, like we're having conversations in the group text about this album, like as we're all kind of playing it, like, yo, he really did that. And
Oh,
you're also talking
absolutely.
about the run. Kendrick's last album wasn't as well received. Like, Kendrick was what, 3 for 3, 4 for 4?
You know what's crazy? People can say that, but that tour still broke the all-time record for highest grossing rap tour.
Or however you want to put it, until we got to miss him around in the big steppers. So there was that, like, does Kendrick even still have it until he was having that year? So boom, we get that. Then you get like the West Coast album, and Head, I'm pretty sure you can speak to this better than I can.
Oh,
that
to
a
the
lot
West
of people
Coast.
wanted from Kendrick that we never got. He puts a whole bunch of like emerging West Coast albums on his some like official West Coast bangers.
Which obviously torpedoed the narrative that the OVHoites kept trying to spin. That Kendrick Lamar doesn't put on artists and that he doesn't put on for the West Coast. 2 obviously erroneous
He
things.
still does the Kendrick thing where he gives us interpersonal
Introspective.
songs, as
Yeah.
well,
Man at
introspective
the
songs
Garden.
as well. He gives us Dodger Blue, which ends up becoming an anthem for the Dodgers winning the World Series, going back-to-back and beating Toronto. So yes, to what Lo was saying, theoretically, it's too soon to call something a classic. But sometimes when you know, you know. Like sometimes
exactly.
you date a girl and you go on the first.
When you heard College Dropout, you pretty much knew it was a classic. When you heard Reasonable Doubt, you pretty much knew it was a classic. And I'm pretty sure you didn't need to wait 5 years to think that To Pimp a Butterfly was a classic.
Second date, you're kind of like, yo, I kind of want to make this girl my girlfriend. Like I just kind of know, and time will tell.
Don't do that.
But I think GNX is a classic. I don't know what else I would need. Like it's not gonna change for me 5 years from now. I'm gonna think it's.
And it's not just impact, because the music was definitely on the level for people to have a justifiable claim that this album could be considered a classic, at least to them. At the end of the day, yeah, it's true. We should be waiting a little more, but like he said, when you know, you know.
It's less of a good album. It's been a year.
Well,
That shit
longevity,
runs.
longevity is the only thing I need.
It's been a
It's the most dominant album still over a year later.
year, bro.
Now, longevity is
Too
what I need.
soon
I'm
to
sorry.
call something a classic?
That's just
Too
me.
soon is like a month.
No,
Yeah.
too soon is like a week, which niggas do all the
All the
fucking
time. But by the way, and I've done it, where I've listened to something and in context what it means when it drops
Yeah.
and the impact that it makes, the production value, the song structure, the content, all of that shit plays into it. And when you
Yeah.
have an album like this that is conceptually fire, drops at, like Eddie articulated, as a bookend to a phenomenal battle, moment, event, has tremendous success. It has 9 Grammy nominations.
Spawned a tour.
The tour is
The most successful rap tour of all time, actually.
Historic. The fuck are we talking about? This is a classic.
Yeah.
Like, why are we even making this hard? I remember when
Thank you, Ebro. Thank you for having some sense.
Illmatic came out. And Miss Info gave it 5 mics.
Okay.
Classic. There wasn't no debate about like, boom, song fire, fire, fire.
And you can say the same thing for Outkast, because their initial debut, classic out the gate.
Lyrics fire.
Right.
Nas is fire. Why are we making this hard?
We're not making it hard.
You are.
I'm not making it hard.
I don't know. It's been short.
And nah, fam. You definitely try to discredit the album because you said it hasn't been 5 years.
That's not how I sound. For one. Second, did I say it was whack? Did I say it was whack? Anybody?
No, give it up, right? Y'all
fuck
think
that.
you on
No.
some East Coast shit now because Head is here. You trying to set
so we're not gonna fucking do that.
Because
I don't need
I came to you first because I was like, look, you gonna bring it home and really bring East West together right now.
No, East West is together.
Here
Like,
you
no,
gonna
like,
fumble in the pack.
I didn't fumble anything. I said the ingredients that I need for it to be a classic is missing one fucking piece.
What?
And that's longevity for me.
The fuck out of here.
Knock it off.
Like TV off ain't gonna be playing, and fucking Squabble Up ain't gonna be playing, and Peekaboo ain't gonna be playing.
And those songs have been the soundtrack for like every major event this past year and a half.
And you ain't gonna be looking at the fucking halftime Super Bowl as one of the most important shits that fucking ever happened in the
Watched
Super Bowl
as well.
in history.
Yes.
Where a black man got to talk about black America on the largest stage in the world and fucking send these white supremacists crap.
Double and triple entendres, not just musically, but visually, man. The dude did a great job.
Okay,
Like that shit ain't fucking legend.
It don't have to be the civil rights. Like, all I said was it's not a classic to me yet because of the longevity aspect, not because of what it
Obviously, this guy's an OVO.
didn't represent, not because of how it sounded, not because it's West Coast dominated, not because of none of that shit. I said I need a little more time for it. All right?
Yo,
if you
Head,
can't
man,
deal
close
with that,
this
that's
out,
on you.
Head, man.
I'm really enjoying this episode of Rap Life Review.
It ain't normally like that. I'm telling you, the desk is never coming back.
Hey, shout out to the desk up.
But I definitely agree. When you know, you just know. You don't have to wait 5 years. You don't have to wait a decade to be able to consider something a classic, because it's obvious to see when something is a classic. I brought up some albums earlier, and you guys could probably comment a bunch of other albums that I missed that would have been considered classic literally within months of dropping, if not days. Because when you hear it, you know. And yeah, the impact is important, sales and stuff are important, but those aren't the end-all, be-all metrics. At the end of the day, does the music hold up? Is the music great? Is the music classic worthy? And the fact of the matter is that it is. I literally can't put on a sports event, whether it's boxing, MMA, baseball, football, basketball, everything, even golf, man, without hearing TV off, Squabble Up, and obviously Not Like Us, which is probably the biggest anthem when it comes to sports over the last year and a half. So while art is definitely subjective, everyone has a right to their opinion. Now, whether or not that opinion is baseless, that's on them and the argument that they're providing. This guy's only argument was that it hasn't been enough time. And while longevity is definitely important, we can't act as if, yeah, GNX hasn't been the most dominant thing over the last year. Name another project that has had the same type of life as GNX. And definitely let me know in the comments. But let's look at some of these comments because I know they're going to be egregious. Alrighty, shout out to Beloved Bone again, friend of the channel. That album is an instant classic, easily in one of the greatest hip-hop albums of all time, Kendrick's third best album. And given the impact of this project, this argument could definitely be justified. Calling it a classic is insane. I feel like you should wait at least 5-ish years and revisit an album and call it a classic or not. And yeah, again, while everyone has their own metrics, waiting 5 years to call anything a classic is fucking crazy. Fanbase has gone from, oh, this is an actual album to, oh yeah, classic for sure. Another Cult of the Ovihoite member. Guys, the people that were saying that it wasn't an album are just the people that were looking for that conceptual album that Kendrick Lamar is known to craft so masterfully. Something like To Pimp a Butterfly, records like that, where he's weaving a story. But I could honestly lay that same claim for GNX. It's an ode to the West Coast, and there definitely is a common thread throughout that album. And in this day and age, guys, there really isn't too much distinction between an album and a mixtape. Most mixtapes are using all original production, and they're all original songs. So for me, it's really semantics at this point. I love how Eddie talks about everything other than the actual music on the album. It's his worst album. Again, you have a right to your opinion. But this person obviously doesn't understand the question. Is it a classic? And this argument, I feel like, really doesn't hold much water. At the end of the day, with an artist like Kendrick Lamar, the guy has pretty much put out classic after classic. So if all you drop is classics, guess what? One of those projects is not going to be as good as the other ones, but it shouldn't negate its classic status. So I think this person is just moving the goalpost. I wish I could fast forward 5 years to personally show y'all that these gimmicky ass songs will not be played. Another Ovi Hawaii member. Definitely let me know what song of the last few years that Drake has put out is consistently getting played, because the only project I see being referenced by these people is Take Care. I rock with GNX, but yeah, it's too early to call it a classic. And you definitely have the right to have that opinion. I agree it's a classic. It's too impactful not to be. It's easy to see that this album will still be relevant years from now with the success and attention it received. And that's definitely going to add more mystique to it, but the songs still hold up. The songs are great. Never forget, it was claimed to be a mixtape when it first released because of how weak the album was. And if this was a weak album, what does it say for that Drake and Party Next Door collab project? Because it wasn't able to do what this GNX project did. Kendrick is on a run for dropping the worst albums in his discography. He hasn't made anything good since Damn. You can believe what you want, but can you really believe that when right after that he had the biggest tour of all time with a whole nother project that people consider to be a classic? Damn is more of a classic, and yeah, you're just missing the point. That's not the question that was asked. Obviously, he has multiple classics, and one classic is probably going to be better than another one of his classics, but that shouldn't be used to discredit another project. The word classic has been thrown around so much now that it means nothing. And while words like classic and hate and glaze and stuff like that are just overused at this point, I feel like the people that just use those words for everything have such a limited vocabulary. But just because that word is being thrown around by other people doesn't mean that it shouldn't be used to label something when it's justified in doing so. LMAO, this was hilarious, but yeah, it's a classic. LOL, LOL, too many historic moments tied to it for real. And I feel like that adds to the myth of the project, because the project still at the end of the day has to be great. And it's obviously great. It's not a classic, and we throw that word around too loosely these days. Prime example of why I will never redirect Ebro. And I definitely don't understand what you're trying to say with that last part. But yeah, people are throwing that word around too much, but we should still use it when it corresponds to something. Even diehard Kendrick fans don't think that shit a classic. Cut it out. They said it was a mixtape at first. And these cult members are definitely sheep, huh? Because it seems they're all copying and pasting the same weak narrative. GNX has a classic moment, post-beef victory lap, the surprise release, multiple #1 songs, the Super Bowl, and the biggest tour in hip-hop history, not to mention the Grammys. It's going to win. Regardless of how people feel about the album, it's going to go down as a classic. And I definitely agree, guys. But definitely let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think this album is a classic, or do you guys think it's too early to label this album a classic? Definitely let me know what you guys think. When you know, you truly know. We've had so many projects that within a few weeks of release, yeah, it was an undisputed classic. But definitely let me know what you guys think. Definitely hit the like and subscribe button, guys. It does the channel wonders. I really want to thank you guys so much for continuing to make this channel a part of your day. It honestly means the world to me. And all the love and support that you guys continue to show the channel on a daily is honestly overwhelming, and probably the biggest reason why I make these videos. So I definitely want to let you guys know how grateful I am for all of it. I truly want to send a big shout out to all those that have been joining the YouTube memberships. Small way to support the channel, but definitely goes a very long way in helping out. And also a very big super thank you to all of those that have been sending super thanks, because guys, it has been tremendous. And I definitely want to let you guys know how grateful I am for all your support. Definitely follow me on X. That link will be posted in the pinned comments and also the description. I'm definitely looking for your takes on this. Hope you guys love this video, and I hope to see you guys soon. And while I do agree the term classic, hate, and glaze get overused, but I also believe when it's justified, we should still be able to use the term that accurately describes it.